Hello, my amazing artist. I'm sorry I couldn't be here today, but this is a video of what you're going to be doing today. All right, so we are going to be making Christmas cards. We're going to practice on a whiteboard first. Then we will get a sheet of paper, fold it in half, draw our Christmas tree with a Sharpie, and then we will paint with markers to make it colored, okay? So the first thing I need you guys to do is you will be getting a whiteboard marker and eraser, and we're going to draw together. So go ahead and pause the video now so that everybody can get that. All right, here we go. Go ahead and open your markers. All right, we are gonna start actually at the bottom for our Christmas tree. So go ahead and make a ground. You wanna do it close to the bottom of your board like that. Then we're gonna make the trunk. We're just gonna do 2 straight lines up like that. And you can make them thick or skinny, however you want to. All right, now we're gonna do the bottom of the Christmas tree. So we want the bottom to be bigger than the top. So we're gonna start with a long line, almost to the edges of our board. Okay, now on each side of that line, we're gonna do 2 diagonals, and they're gonna go up and in, but we don't wanna go too much yet. So I'm gonna start over here. I'm gonna go up and in. I'm gonna come over here. I'm gonna go up and in. Okay, now at the top of those diagonals, we're gonna make 2 straight lines that go back out. But this time, we don't wanna go as far out as these points right here. So I'm just gonna go out a little bit, out a little bit. And it doesn't have to be perfect, this is practice. Okay, now at the end of those straight lines, we're gonna do 2 diagonals up and in again. This time I'm gonna go farther in than this one. Okay, you see how that went farther than that? Same thing on this side. Okay, now at the top of those, we're gonna go straight out, but not as far as this one. Straight out, but not as far as this one. Now we're gonna go up and in with another diagonal. You see how that's getting closer together? Okay, this time, before I make this last diagonal, I'm gonna come to the very top middle and I'm gonna make a little dot. That's a guiding dot there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go out on each side, just like I did before. This time when I diagonal up, I'm gonna go all the way to the dot and I'm gonna stop. All the way to the dot, and then I'm gonna stop, okay? Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate our tree, and you can do, first we're gonna start with a string of lights. All right, we're gonna start up here and you're just gonna make kind of a diagonal that goes down and touches each side. It doesn't even have to be diagonal, it can be straight if you want it to, like that. Okay? Now on there, I'm gonna make some lights. I'm gonna make them kind of like a football shape or a teardrop. I'm gonna do a football like that. Make sure they're touching the strand. And you can do as many as you want. I'm doing them under the rope, so it looks like they're kind of hanging down. You don't have to do very many. You can make them circles. Just make sure they're touching the strand. Okay? Like that. Okay? If you need to pause the video to let people catch up, that's fine. Remember, this is just practice. And then on the Christmas tree, I'm just gonna make circles for ornaments. They can be big, they can be small. You can do as many as you want, but the more you do, the more you have to color too, okay? All right, that's where we're gonna stop. And we're gonna go ahead, put your lid on your marker, make sure the black's touching the white. You hear it click. Erase your boards, put them away. All right, now your teacher is gonna get you, you're gonna get a piece of paper and a Sharpie, okay? So go ahead and pause the video, and that's what you're gonna get now. All right, so this is what we're gonna do first. We're gonna fold our paper in half like a card. So you're gonna turn it sideways. I know mine already has folds on it. I'm using an old paper. And you're gonna fold it in half. You wanna line your corners up the best you can. Okay, when you fold, this is hard paper, so you gotta push down really hard. Okay, now, here's the tricky part. You want your fold on the left. You wanna open it on the right like a book, okay? We're gonna draw our Christmas tree first, and then we're gonna write our name on the back at the very, very end, okay? All right, we're gonna draw with a Sharpie because Sharpies don't bleed, We're gonna do the same thing we just did on the whiteboard. So first we're gonna start with a ground down here. Okay, now we're gonna draw our trunk. You can make it as skinny, as tall as you want. Doesn't matter, it's up to you. Now we're gonna make our straight line. Remember, this is the longest one we're gonna make, so we wanna go almost to the edges of our paper. And remember, our paper's still folded, we're working on the top. Okay, now at the end of those lines, I'm gonna diagonal up and in, but don't go too much. Take your time, watch me first. Okay, at the top of those diagonals, I'm gonna go straight out a little bit on each side. Remember, we don't wanna go out too far. If you do, it's okay though. Now at the end of those straight lines, I'm gonna go up and in, okay? Remember, it's a tree, it's not supposed to be perfect. And then at the ends of those, I'm gonna go out just a little bit on each side. And then, stop. Sorry, my son is here and he grabbed my phone. Now at the end of those lines, I'm gonna go up and in like that. Now this is gonna be my last one. So before I do this one, I'm gonna go find the top middle of my paper and I'm gonna put a guiding dot right there, okay? Now I'm gonna go out a little bit on each side. This time I'm gonna go touch the dot when I go to do my diagonal. And I know there's not enough room for the star. That's okay, we're not gonna do a star on this one. Okay, I'm gonna let everybody get caught up. If you need to pause the video now, you can. All right, now we're gonna make our lights. Remember, you can do them straight. You don't have to curve like I am. I'm just gonna go back and forth. Make sure they touch the sides on each side so it looks like they're going around your tree, okay? Now I'm gonna draw lights. Remember, you can do them how you want. If you just wanna do like that, that's fine, an oval. Just make sure they touch the line where the lights would go so they're not floating lights. And don't do too many. Remember, a good artist knows when to stop. All right, after you get done with your lights, then you're gonna draw your ornaments. I know I'm going quick. She can pause the video to let you catch up. Okay? When you, oh, I'm gonna add one there. When you are done with your ornaments, I want you to put the lid on your Sharpie. Leave it at your seat for now. You can clean those up later. Okay, what we're gonna do is we are going to color it now. But remember, we're gonna be painting with markers. So when we color, we're not actually coloring, we're just gonna be outlining, okay?
Okay.
So we're gonna start with our ornaments and our lights, and we're gonna pick any colors you want. I'm gonna start with red, and I'm just gonna go on the inside of a few of my ornaments with red, the ones I want to be red. I'm gonna do all the red ones first before I change colors. So those are the ones I want red. Now I'm gonna pick another color. I'm gonna do some purple. These are the ones that I want to be purple.
I'm gonna be
Yep, I'm gonna do some blue. Now I'm out of ornaments, so I'm gonna do, oh, there's one ornament right there. I'm gonna have one blue one, I guess. All right, now I'm gonna do my lights, and I'm gonna do my lights orange. And I think I'm gonna do them yellow, orange and yellow. Remember the colors that bleed good and the colors that don't. But because these are little, they'll still look good. All right, got all my ornaments and all my lights done. Now I'm gonna do my ground. I think I want the ground to be this dark pink, so I'm just gonna outline right under this line, but I'm gonna make it thick like that. Now I'm gonna do the trunk of the tree, and I'm just gonna make an outline around the trunk with brown, like that. Now lastly, I'm gonna do the tree. This is a little tricky because I have a lot of stuff on it. You can choose either green. Just depends on what you want. Remember, the light green's not gonna bleed very good, so I would choose the regular green. And you're gonna go around the edges of your tree. If you don't, try not to bump into any of your ornaments. If you do, jump over them like this. And then, so that this middle part, stop Oakley, gets colored. I know you do. My son Oakley is here. He's trying to help me. So this middle part gets colored. Here's what I'm gonna do. See where this strip is, my strand of lights? I'm gonna kind of trace over it with the marker too, so that the middle also gets some green. All right, and if you need to pause it there to catch up with me, that's fine. I'm gonna make a few snowflakes with blue. If you wanna do that too, you're welcome to. So I'm gonna get a blue, and I'm gonna do a plus sign, and then an X. A plus sign, and then an X. And you notice I make my plus sign a little bigger than my X. That way it looks more like a star, kind of, or a snowflake. And you can make as many as you want. Be careful not to make too many. This is your Christmas card. We're not taking these home this week, but we will take them home before Christmas. All right. After you get your snowflakes on now and your tree is all the way finished, then we're gonna use the water and the brushes. Now, do not touch the water and the brushes until you are all the way down with markers, okay? Now we're gonna do one color at a time. Get your brush wet, and then you're gonna make it bleed to the inside of whatever you're painting. I'm starting with all the reds. Okay, all my reds are done, so I'm gonna clean my brush. Now I'm gonna do the purples. Oh, Oakley's helping. Okay, now my purple's done. Don't do it on my paper. And now I'm gonna do the oranges. And then we're gonna keep going until the whole thing is done. All right. Oh, I missed an orange right there. All right, now I'm gonna do yellows. This sharp part shouldn't take you a long time, but remember, you don't wanna use too much water. We don't want puddles. We don't want it all bleeding together. I got you a small brush so you can fit in tiny spots. Okay, oops, see my orange came out. Now I'm gonna do the inside of my tree. This is the tricky part because it's gonna bleed a little bit with your colors. That's okay. You can kind of see how mine's already bleeding a little bit. Oakley, stop. Okay, and I'm going to keep going until the whole thing is done.
I'm helping you.
And where the snowflakes, this is what you're gonna do. You're just gonna kind of do like this so it looks like they're kind of glowing, but you're not trying to paint the whole paper with them. I'm just starting in the middle and going kind of out with a circle, okay? And that is what you're gonna do with your Christmas card. When you're all the way done, flip it over and write your name on the back. Take your time. We are not in a rush, okay? If you get done early, then your teacher will let you get a whiteboard marker and eraser and sit on the floor and draw.
I'm trying to get